Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're joining from. Thank you. Thank you for joining the Career in Cybersecurity. Thank you for joining the Career in Cybersecurity webinar. I'm not sure, can you all hear me? Oh, great, great, great. Thank you. I can see the thumbs ups. Thank you very much. I was actually wondering if my mic was going to work. I've been doing testing mic. All right. So just waiting. I think people are still joining. We've got a couple of people in the room. So I think we'll just shoot off now. It's meant to be 12. And I appreciate some people might just be on their lunch break. So we will kick off on time. And this webinar is being recorded. So just so that you know, and as well, you will all have access to the webinar. So even if others join late, they should be able to go back and watch. Thank you very much. Just bear with me while I. All right, I'll just kick off the webinar now. Thank you very much once again. My name is Abdul Rahman Akombi, and just a quick introduction about myself. I won't take so much time. I've been within the cybersecurity realm for, well, I would say I've been within the IT space for over 20 years now. And to be more specific in cybersecurity will be about 7 years. I've got a master's in software and system security, which solidified my entry into cybersecurity, and that was from the University of Oxford. And as well, I've got a couple of certifications in cyber. Currently, I do consult within the financial services and as a cybersecurity consultant, and as well as I do run a company called Cycom Integrated Solutions, which is a cybersecurity consultancy firm. So I'll just take you and to the next slide to. So this is who we are as Cycom. Cycom is a consulting firm, cybersecurity consultancy firm, and we've got four arms. And within these four arms, we do consulting, and this is where our MSP sits. MSP is managed service providers, so we do service other clients, deal with the cybersecurity issues. And we have what we call the academy, and is the academy that is actually running this program at the moment. And all we're doing is just for cybersecurity awareness. And then we've got the resourcing part, which is it is a lot of people that finish from our academy. They've gone through the certifications and work experience. Where they end up is they become talent and they are ready for work. But apart from that, we do onboard existing or current talents around, and we do source for jobs for them. And the last bit is Cycom Lab, which is a part of Cycom that has just been created, and it is for research purpose. And what we're looking to do in this bit is to start looking at emerging techs, which revolves around AI, IoT, and the bridge between those and cybersecurity. So, and on the right-hand side here, you can see we've got a couple of partnerships with some of the MSPs and how we do run our SOC and our M365 integrations. We are partners with ISC Squared, and we're official training partners. And as well, we are CompTIA training partners as well. And we've got partnership with Microsoft, Ndida, uSecure, and these are just a couple that we've just put on this slide. These are the relevant ones to cyber. So for this, the agenda for today is we will be going through introduction to cybersecurity, and this will just quick introduction for those of us that are just new into getting into cyber. So it's just for us to get acquainted what's the cybersecurity, and then we go into some industry insights to tell you what's out there, you know, the gaps, and we go into the security roles and descriptions. We talk about some specializations, which we have other speakers that will jump on. So it's not just good, it's not just going to be my boring voice that you'll be hearing all day. So then we'll talk about entry paths to cybersecurity, career opportunities, skills and certifications, and Q&A. So for today, these are the list of our speakers on here. That's myself, and we've got Vikram, who is from ISC Squared, and he would like to talk to us as well. And that's one of our partners. And we've got Fatimah. Fatimah Adelodun will be speaking as well on SOC. We've got Felicia, who will look into the governance bit, and we've got Ashif as well, who is who will be speaking on some other parts, cloud security and that. So we're hoping we'll have enough time to cover everything. So please pardon me, apologies if I move a bit quick. If you have any questions, just we've got the chat box. Let me know, is the chat box enabled? If it should be enabled for everyone, where or I could just put on the Q&A box. Just bear with me while I turn that on. Oh, okay, yep, I've got someone already. Yep, so we've got the Q&A where you can just go ahead and ask your questions while the program is going, and we'll try and respond to each question. Okay, just bear with me. Whenever I leave my screen, I'm not sure what happens. Just 1 second while I just. Okay, sorry, I've got my screen back now. Just feel free to drop your questions in the chat box, please. So the next slide, we'll be looking at what is cybersecurity. So we've got an IBM definition of cybersecurity there, which talks about, which refers it to any technology, measures, or practice for preventing cyber attack or mitigating their impact. And it says cybersecurity aims to protect individuals and organizations, systems, applications, computing devices, sensitive data, and financial assets against simple and annoying computer viruses, sophisticated and costly ransomware attack, and everything in between. So we're talking about people, processes, and technology here. So we're looking at protecting your network from unauthorized access attack, damage. And if you look at it right now, the world is interconnected, where digital technologies play a pivotal role in our daily lives. So the need for robust cybersecurity measures has never been more crucial at this time. We're here to, yeah, hello, can you hear me? Sorry, I think I just, hello? Can you just give me thumbs up if I'm back, please?
Abdul, you're actually online. We can hear you.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. So we're also here. So I will just go to the next slide, and we'll talk about the cybersecurity workforce gap. And as of 2023, so which is just last month, really, we have about approximately 4 million workforce gap around the world. This is a large number, right? And if you look at it, it's been broken down into different regions. And we can see that the North and Latin America, they've got a lion's share, and as well Asian Pacific. So Europe is, it's the need, the gap is growing. And these gaps are not really, there's no plan for it to come down because attackers are not sleeping. I mean, when I say attackers, these are the hackers. They are not sleeping. They're getting more sophisticated with the emerging tech that is coming up with AI. A lot of things going on. So the more sophisticated the attackers get, the more need for cybersecurity consultants out there. So we always say it's never too late to get into cyber. In fact, if you get into cyber now, you're one of the early ones. It's never too late. So I'll go ahead and talk a bit more about this, the labor market, the UK labor market. Given that we're based in the UK, I start with the UK, then I grow into other parts of the world, right? So the 2023 year report for the cybersecurity skills in the UK labor market, it says 50% of all UK businesses have basic cybersecurity skill gap. So 50%, that means 1 out of every 2 business you see in the UK have a need. So, and we go into next. Last year there were 160,035 cybersecurity job posting last year, and it's increased right in the previous from the previous year. So in 2021 we had this is talking about 2023. Sorry, just so that we're not talking about. So we're looking at 2023 report. So it was talking about 2022 gap compared to 2023 gap. We don't have a 2024 report yet because we're just starting. We want to be part of the statistics of 2024 and want to be part of the workforce currently in those jobs or probably employing for those roles as well. Right. So these roles are actually from research. The roles are actually hard to fill. They're not easy. The issue is they're finding it hard to find skilled cybersecurity specialists or analyst or consultant to fill those roles. So and if you look at it, we have a very big gap with the female workforce, which is just 17% of the cyber sector workforce is female. and is decreasing. That is and that's not good. So we have the women in IT. We have a lot of ladies in this on this call. Just so that you know, there is an opportunity. It's a very big opportunity for you to go into cyber. A lot of organizations are looking to increase their women workforce within the organization. So it's an opportunity for you to get your hands in, and those organizations are willing to as well, spend money to upskill their current female workforce to get into cyber. So please look into that. So here just says estimated shortfall of 11,200 people to meet demand in the cyber workforce, which down from 14,001 last year. So yeah, we're still getting people filling those roles, but not enough, right? So here is just another quick statistics. I won't bore you so much with statistics, but I'm just going to mention some of them that are very, very important. So the most important bit here is cybersecurity. Within cybersecurity, there's 100% employment rate. What this means is if you're a cybersecurity consultant and you are an analyst and you have those skills, you will be employed. That is 100%. That's what they mean by 100%. You will be employed. So you just need to get it right. So, and we have other ones here that we've mentioned in the previous slides. So we have we say people think cybersecurity is something that is highly technical. Yes, some roles require deep technical expertise, but cybersecurity is a vast domain, and making an organization cyber resilience also requires generalist roles that needs a broader skill set. Now, I'm going to go into that later. We'll talk more about, I think probably I could just go into the generalist role, talk about those. For those people that don't want to get too technical, you don't want to do any bit of coding or of sort, right? So, cybersecurity is a broad field with various roles and responsibilities aimed at protecting computer systems, network, and data from cyber threats. So, the UK Cybersecurity Council lists 16 distinct specialisms. And this specialism, if you look at it here, we've got a cyber career framework pathway, and they have splitted this role. So if you are like looking at, well, how do I get into cyber? What part of cyber do I want to go into? This is a very good roadmap to look at. It talks about different areas from digital forensics to governance, risk and compliance management to security testing. Then it talks about the cybersecurity generalist as well, and cybersecurity management. So we've got all those. So if you want to look at as a cybersecurity generalist, and this person is a professional who possesses broad range of knowledge and a skill across various aspects of cybersecurity. So unlike specialists who focus on specific domains within cybersecurity, generalists are well versed in multiple areas, allowing them to understand the overall security landscape and address diverse challenges. So if you look at that, you can see that these are people that they're more like SMEs within organizations. They talk about different things. They can call you. An organization need people like that who understand network security, how network works, how the cloud works. What if they talk about testing, you can talk about it as well. You can put things in place. And the other bit, which talks about the cybersecurity management, which is a cybersecurity manager, and these are the people who oversee the implementation of effective cybersecurity program within organizations. So there are different parts to get into that. And if you look at the role of a forensic investigator or a forensic professional, so they call them digital forensic analyst or examiner or that. You see those job roles. And this involves the investigation and analysis of digital evidence to uncover and understand cyber crime or incidents. So we have those detective, very interesting roles that allows you to you look at logs, you try to understand when someone got into a system and when the person went out, what activities, what did they do, and all that. And you'll be able to present that as a report. Then we have the part of security testing, which is up there as well. And that plays a crucial role in ensuring the systems, applications, and infrastructure they actually meet the security posture or the desired security posture of an organization. So they actually test, they discover the potential weakness and recommend mitigations. So without spending so much time on this, we can always talk about different aspects. You can reach out to me. I'm cautious of time, so this slide could take an hour actually if I keep going on it. So I'm just going to go on the next interesting slide. And this talks about, these are the top 5 cybersecurity skills sought after. And if you look at it, right, with the advent of cloud technologies, the most sorted skill at the moment is the cloud security skill. And this entails you understand how the cloud works, the cloud models, right? And ensure that you understand the different how the cloud works. And most organizations have migrated their digital assets to the cloud, and this has created the need to protect these resources in the cloud. So cloud security refers to the cybersecurity policies, best practices, controls, and technologies used to secure cloud-based applications. So, and another well-sorted field is security operations, which we're going to talk about. I think my colleague, my sister, one of our speakers, Fatimah, she's going to talk about that. She will talk to us about cybersecurity operations, and which consists of threat intelligence. And I'm sure a lot of you you've heard of SecOps. We normally have DevSecOps, development operations, and development and operations. Now we have SecOps, security operations, and they generate threat intelligence to help organizations find, prevent, and mitigate security threats. So they look at incident response, vulnerability management, and up to the security automation and orchestration response. That's a tongue twister. All right. I would just go into the next slide. I wouldn't dig too deep because which is more about roles. I think I have talked about these roles. I've talked about them. I think the one I'm just going to pull out here, my colleague Ashiv will talk about some of the key roles. He's going to summarize this for us. And the most important one here I'm going to talk about is the role that sits within the C-suite. So the role that sits within the top management, and which is the CISO. CISO is the Chief Information Security Officer. Sorry, just can you all hear me? Just thumbs up.
Yes, I do. We can.
Okay, and can you see me clearly?
Yes, and the screen is also clear.
And the screen is clear. Thank you very much. I just, it feels like I'm talking to myself. So at times I feel when I see any phrase from my side, I think maybe something has gone wrong. All right. Okay, so I will just go down. I'll go through. I will pass it on to Ashif. I'm not sure, Ashif, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, great, Ashif. Thank you. I will pass this on for you to talk about the entry part to
Yeah.
cybersecurity, and I would like you to introduce yourself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abdul. Yeah, I'm just sharing my screen.
All right, I will stop sharing the.
Yeah. Oh, just taking me a moment. Yeah. All right. So can you see my screen? Um, Abdul, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, perfectly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And yeah, so I'm Ashif Ahmed, currently stationed at Vancouver, BC. And I'll talk about how you can come over, or like how we can enter to the cybersecurity world. What would be the best possible ways to do it? So a little bit about me. I'm currently working as an IT security architect at BC Provincial Health Services Authority, Canada. I'm also an ex-CISO of a Fortune 500 company in US. I do have 15 years of experience in cybersecurity and IT fields. And I'm also the coordinator of the ISACA Vancouver chapter program. I do have 56 industry leading certifications like CISSP, ISSMP, SSCP, CC, CCSP, CISA, CISM, CDP, CCSK. The tally will be going down, so that I just put only some of them here. So I'm currently teaching at the Vancouver Community College, Algonquin College, University of Calgary, and Stella College US, mostly like the cybersecurity subjects. And also I train more than 3,000 people in my whole career. I'm also certified PCB trainer for ISO 27001 lead auditor and lead implementer. I'm also certified trainer for IC2 and ISACA as well. I write numerous cybersecurity blogs. I'm currently writing a CISSP book, and also I made lots of like the questions for CISA and CCSK exams as well. So that's a little bit about me. And Abdul talked about more or less like the cloud security. So I really want to just brush up those particular like the aspects. Then I'll move to just those kind of like the ways of how you can just enter into the cybersecurity world. So whenever we're talking about like the cloud security, it actually provides the enterprises a bigger and better flexibility, because we really want to just put forward our data into a certain kind of like the place where the security will be top notch, and also our data, like the personally identifiable informations, for example, like your name, for example, your date of birth, your address, which can clearly distinguish yourself from the crowd, can be always safe and secure. So as the day progresses, cloud will be, I should say, like the much more secure in terms of compared to your on-prem solutions, if not more than that. And obviously, it can give you a great impetus of how you can just deal with different types of security portions. So cloud is next. And obviously, we are hugely accustomed with different kind of like the usability of the cloud right now. So I believe like the learning the cloud, understanding the cloud portions, which will be really beneficial or proven really good for you who really wants to come forward to the cybersecurity world. So the basic questions coming up, why cloud computing is so popular? Like, what are the things which actually just make things much more easier for the people to think about cloud computing? So I will discuss about like the 5 attributes of the cloud. Number 1 should be like the multi-tenancy, that means the shared resources. That means, for example, like you are living in a world where you can put the data, and maybe rest of the other companies, like more than 100 companies, 200 companies, will also put their data into a single place. Still, like whenever you are sharing those kind of like the resources, it's actually just giving you a great kind of like the insights of how you're going to make those kind of like the shared resources beneficial for your organization. The price would be lower, and obviously you will get the top-notch security implementations and like the facilitations from the cloud vendor. At the same time, whenever you're talking about like the services, like the shared services, you can get the network level services, host level services, application level services, and you don't need to just to think about too much how you're going to manage it. Because, for example, whenever we're talking about software as a service, the cloud vendor will manage everything for you. So there are lots of like the way outs you can think about whenever you are just thinking, just balancing between your cloud and also like the on-prem solution. Massive scalability. So giving an example, suppose you are having one particular like the site which is a is an e-commerce site. Now, in different kind of like the timeline, for example, in US or Canada, whenever we're having the Black Friday, we need to think about like the lots of things. Like if there's like a website we're having, lots of people will be coming to our site. So what happened if it can handle maybe like 100 requests in a single minute, but there might be 500 users, 1,000 users. Then what happened? Then the cloud will be coming into the scene because it can scale quite rapidly. Even if you have the on-prem solutions, but it is quite difficult for a single individual or a group of people to add some more resources into it. But in cloud, it's just a matter of some seconds. You just talk with the cloud vendor, tell them that we need some kind of scalability for a certain period of time, they will arrange it. Elasticity. So whenever we need to just go through different kind of like the increase and decreasing, cloud is always helping you out to just shrink your resources whenever you don't need them, or maybe increase them whenever you need them most. Pay as you go. So, for example, if you're having an infrastructure and you were thinking of that we have invested a lot of money, but in the cloud, for example, if you need those services for a certain period of time and you were paying a little bit of money compared to the on-prem solutions, because you are having a solution for maybe like this 5 days in a week, and on Saturday and Sunday you don't need these resources, so you can tell the cloud that I don't need, so you don't need to pay for that one. And also self-provisioning of the resources. That means whenever you need any kind of like the services, the cloud has got all kind of like the provision to active things up for you. So if you need the maybe like the 2 external servers, if you need some storage, if you need some networking support, cloud vendor is always ready to provide you within a split of a second. So there are some kind of the best certifications in the cloud security. One of those from IC2, CCSP, and also like another one from Cloud Security Alliance, CCSK. Those certifications are really beneficial, and I do have the both, so I can clearly vouch for those things. And if you really want to just more about like the security knowledge or how you can get those certifications, obviously SciComm definitely can help you out in those cases. So let's talk about more on professionalism in cybersecurity, or how we can enter into cybersecurity, or what exactly happening into this world. As already Abdul said, that it's in demand. So even in North America, we do have lots of like the shortage right now in the cybersecurity domains. I have been interviewing lots of people right now, but still like we do have a lots of like the space for different kind of like the cybersecurity peoples, like from GRC, from like the network infrastructure security, or from for the vulnerability assessment on pen testing people. So lots of like the openings have been there already in the world. It's been well paid, so it's like an ever-growing field. So people need a lots of like the knowledge base in those particular cases. So we have a great kind of like the starting salary in this particular side compared to the other job roles right now. So as long as we are talking about like the cybersecurity professionals, those are kind of like the diversity knowledge they need to just have all the time. So diversity provides access to a greater range of talent, and it provides a greater insights all the time. So people always needs to get through lots of like the knowledge-based certifications to just make them ready to face up those kind of like the ever changing challenges in the cybersecurity world. So if you don't have the certifications, if you don't have the continuous knowledge development and everything, you might be obsolete in this sector. So that's why knowledge-based security certifications are always paramount to keep yourself ready for any kind of like the challenges whichever is coming to your way. And cybersecurity is for everyone. It's not something that those people who are working in the cybersecurity, they can think about themselves that they're doing the goods, but lots of people who can also want to come over in this particular sector is always open and just opening their arms to give them the best kind of like the possible services. So many people might have a question like, what should be the road to the cybersecurity career? So cybersecurity career paths have become like the more formal over the years. There are lots of like the places, or maybe like there are lots of designations open up. So I will talk about those things quite a lot right now. First thing first is kind of like the pen tester and ethical hacker. So that means they are trying to do, because whenever we're talking about like the ethical hacking, that means we are trying to have a people who are actually trying to find the loopholes in my system. So we will pay it to them, and the average salary for the ethical hackers is 100 2,000. And a pen tester means like, they will give a lot of like the teams. For example, they're working in a team in the organization, and they will try to find out any kind of like the specific criteria which can be exploited. So the rules and regulations of the organizations might say in that way that we will hire hackers so that we can understand like what kind of like the problems is being existing into the system and how we can resolve those issues. When we're talking about like a security analyst and a specialist role, those are kind of like the entry-level positions, and average salary is kind of like 85,000 over there. Lots of like the security analysts who might work in the security operations center, and security operations center is providing you the specializations like how you manage the security as a whole, what kind of like the situations might be coming up, and how we can deal with those kind of like the things. So those kind of like the people can enter into those kind of like the basis, obviously, and they need some kind of the starting certifications, which might be CCs as certified in cybersecurity, and also like the CompTIA certifications, for example, like the Network Plus, Security Plus, A Plus certifications. That would be like really helpful whenever you're just getting through those particular like the ropes. So cybercrime investigator, whenever any sort of like the problems happen into the organizations, maybe like any kind of like the cyber attacks happen, ransomware happens, man in the middle happens, then there should be one kind of the particular team who investigate the problem to find the root cause of this particular issue, so that whenever the next time the problem will be coming up, it will be really difficult. It will not be difficult for them because they have found the root cause in the previous cases. Maybe they have used 5 whys, fishbone algorithm, and some of the like the other cases to get through things done. So the average salary for those kind of like the crime analyst and investigator is 85,000, which is also a pretty lucrative job. We have security consultant. So security consultant means like they are talking about lots of like the process, and they can think about like the how they can manage those kind of like the specific things in more kind of like a diversified level. For example, if they think about like the consulting roles, so that like if you need some kind of like the people who can manage the cybersecurity in your organization, who can think about like the how you're going to manage those kind of like the specializations in the risk managements, implementations, vulnerability assessment, pen testing program, they will give you the consultancy. So they will advise which things will be good, which things will be not, and they can foresee the future, or at least they can tell them, tell your organization that which things should be doable, which things should not. So security consultant is more on a higher role, and it actually gives you a greater kind of like the specifically in the bigger organizations, a great kind of like the facilitations to make sure that the security is being always on the safer side. And security engineer and architect. So I'm working as an architect. So I'm designing the security. I'm implementing different kind of the security roles, and also like I'm defining like the which things are being really beneficial, or whenever we're designing any kind of the infrastructure, what kind of the loopholes will be there, and how to resolve those kind of like the things. And the average salary for those is 108,000. even it's kind of like the more on that in the North American job market as well, because we are a great kind of like the shortage in the security engineer architect kind of like roles. And I'm pretty sure in UK, this is the same scenario. So there are lots of like the people who are doing the freelance consulting and contractor job. The average rate is kind of like the 1,000 per day, but those kind of like the, because I'm pretty sure you have heard about like the virtual CISOs or some kind of like the people who are doing lots of like the different things in the cybersecurity. They're actually sharing their kind of like the knowledge and experience, excuse me, in those particular cases. So they are doing the freelancer consultancy role altogether. So, excuse me. So wherever you are thinking about like the CISO role, that's the biggest role, because this is the senior level role, and their salary is quite high, like $130,000. And this is kind of like the role which actually maintain the whole kind of security posture of the organization. They are the ultimate decision maker, and they will discuss any kind of like the problems with the stakeholders to make sure that the security will be maintained to is like the at least like the top-notch level in the organizations all the time, and they will take over those kind of like the governance, oversight, all kind of like the other domains in the organization. So how to get started? $1 million question. So US Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that typically entry-level job needs a graduation. But if you don't have a degree, don't write off a career in cybersecurity, because it's a massive shortage, and qualified cybersecurity talent, even if like they do have lots of certifications and not have a kind of like the greater degrees, still they can just find themselves into a very good job. And there are lots of like the openings currently into the market, which actually needs some more certifications, hands-on knowledge and experience. And obviously regarding the shortage and everything, definitely people can get a very good job if they have those kind of like the needed skills and certifications all together. So if you have some kind of like the knowledge lacking, or if you feel that you need some more kind of like the training, Cycom Solutions definitely can help you out. We are here to help you out. So if you need any kind of like the knowledge level, or if you need to develop your cybersecurity skills, if you hone your skills in any kind of like the security certifications, we are always there to help you out. So I believe I have covered all like the most of the touch points. I'll be here so to answer any of your questions. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, Abdul, and looking forward to just having many more sessions like that. So I'm ending here, and I'm just handing over to Abdul again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ashif. That was fantastic. I can see some claps out there. Thank you. The next person to go, our next speaker will be Fatimah, and I will just hand over to her so we can hear about the security operations. And Fatimah, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you.
Okay, let me know when you can see me. I think it's a bit dark in here.
Oh yeah, we can see you clearly. I can see you clearly.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Ashif, Abdul Rahman, I think you guys have started so brilliantly. I hope I'll be able to just carry on the pace that that you've started with. It's been really good. If I was starting in cyber, or if I had questions about cyber, I think by now you would have answered a lot of them. So I'm happy to join this conversation. Cybersecurity, like both speakers before me have said, is a lucrative or a booming industry right now. So I think just conversations like this are all good. Just so I know that I'm not speaking to myself, I know you can hear me, Abdul Rahman. It'll be really good. Guys in the audience as well, please just send messages in the group. Good afternoon. Just let me know if you can hear me. All I need is a yes, and then I know that we're good to go.
Yes.
Thank you. I see thumbs up as well. So thank you, Julian. Thank you. Okay, so what I need, or I will not take too much of your time, honestly. The conversation I'm going to have today, let me share my screen, is going to be, around working as a security operations analyst, SOC analyst, or security analyst, depending on the organization you work with, will, I guess, decide what the acronym will be. Thank you for all the messages in the chat. I know I'm not speaking to myself for sure now. Just give me a second to, okay, while I put up my screen, has anybody here, or does anybody here work as a security analyst, or does anybody know what it's like working in cybersecurity as a cybersecurity analyst? Just let me know if you have any idea what that entails. All I need again is a yes or a no. Don't worry, my conversation will be very quick. Yes, okay, thanks, Josie. No, okay, no, okay, another no, good, okay, okay. I'm not sure what's happening with my screen. Abdurrahman, are you able to share your screen? You have my deck, right?
Yeah, sure, I can. Let me do that quickly.
It'll be good to have it, just so people can follow, but I can talk without it anyway.
All right, it's all right. Let me just share.
How many, if you're a woman in the audience, please just put a big W, just so I know you're a woman in the audience. I'm not being biased. I will speak to everybody. Thank you. Okay, I just want to know, encourage more participation, because thank you. I said bias. No. I just want to be sure that we have I am all for everybody. Don't worry. Okay, good. We have quite a number of women. I just want to be sure. Man, okay, welcome, Jonathan. I'm not being biased. I want everybody to participate. Okay, so quick introduction. I think I've wasted enough time just trying to get everybody together. My name is Fatimah Adelodun. Abdurrahman is not Adelodun, okay? It's Fatimah Adelodun. I've worked in cybersecurity for over 12 years now. I don't know how I can top Ashif. I don't think anybody will top Ashif in this conversation. But honestly, the people that Abdurrahman has, to speak today, incredible lineup. I don't know why I'm here, honestly. But yes, I have that much experience in cybersecurity. I have, certifications from IT, traditional IT to cyber. So from like ITL to like CCNA, CCNP. I have some in data analytics, like Python, like RStudio. Honestly, I can't remember all of them. I have some in project management, so I'm PMP certified. Regarding cybersecurity, Security Plus, ethical hacking, that's CEH. I have CISA. I have CISM. I'm currently working for my CISSP. I have some in cloud as well, from Azure to AWS. I have a number of them. I don't think I can remember everything now. Work-wise, I've worked in Nigeria. I worked in the electricity sector in Nigeria. Keep it coming, guys. I like the comments. Thank you. I've worked in Nigeria. The electricity sector. I also worked at NISA. That's the Information Technology Development Agency, and I still work with LinkedIn as an instructor for cybersecurity. And one of my course in cybersecurity for LinkedIn is actually linked to what I'll be talking about today. Anyway, currently I work in Canada with an electricity sector organization as well. I lead the security operations team. So I do know what I'm talking about, and I'm talking about the topic today. And it's Ashif has said something about security analyst or security operations analyst, and that picture with the women. Can you go back to that picture? Abdurrahman, can you go back to the first picture with the women? Again, not being biased, I'm just saying, honestly, it's not only men that work in SOC. It's not only men that work in cybersecurity. There is a lot of space for participation from women, and that's why I'm encouraging women. Men are more fearless or more risk prone than women, so that's why I'm encouraging more women to come as well. Okay, let's go now. So I've talked about SOC, I've talked about security operations, but what exactly does that mean, right? Security operations, or SOC, depending on the organization, depending on the size of the organization. You can go to the next slide, Abdurrahman. Is like the war room of an organization. It is the heart of security operations. I have worked in SOCs that look like this, exactly like this. You just have like screens, and everyone sits and everyone is looking, everybody's monitoring. I've also started a SOC that is just like one computer, right? So there is no like one size that fits everybody. It depends on your organization, it depends on the culture, it depends on the budget, it depends on the size, and so many different things. So again, a SOC is just maybe one computer, maybe one room, maybe a team of people, and their main or their primary responsibility is just ensuring that they monitor. That's the deal. You monitor round the clock, depending again on the size and on the the peculiarities of your organization. But again, you just monitor what the endpoints, so your laptops, your computers, your servers, your printers, the network itself, the devices, just monitoring all that to ensure that there is no anomaly, there is no incident, and if there is an incident, it is then the people that work in that SOC that will be the first responder. They're the ones that will try to contain it. They are the ones that will try to identify it, and they're the ones that will try to like mitigate like the risk that can come from that. That is a SOC. There are different types of SOC, like I said, depending on the organization. You can have like an internal SOC. So this picture, this beautiful picture here, it can just be for one organization. And so if I work for SciComm, for example, this can be our internal SOC, right? And we're just focused on SciComm. You also have something called hybrid, where we have people working in our internal SOC, but we also have, subscribe to services from an MSSP, that's a managed security service provider. So essentially you're managing things internally, but you also have the bigger security organization that does like the monitoring for you. So for some organizations, you have people working like 9 to 5, and then like the organizations that you subscribe to will then take on from like 5 p.m. to like 9 the next day. Again, just to ensure that there's continuous monitoring and there's continuous visibility into your environment. That's what that is. And you also just have organizations maybe that are small, or they don't even want to be bothered about cybersecurity at all. They just fully, subscribe or delegate that to an MSSP, a vendor who then does all that monitoring for them. Those are like the types of SOCs that we have. We can delve into what the peculiarity of each of those are. But again, this is supposed to be like an introductory bit, so we're not going to go too much into that. That is what a SOC is about. Abdurrahman, do you want to go to the next slide, please? Okay, so now we've talked about SOCs. Let's now talk about what it's like. Why, who's a SOC analyst? The way I say it, the way I call them, and the people that work with me, I call them the watchdogs, right? You can't have systems and all these fancy monitors just there. You also need people to like interact to see what's happening. So maybe call somebody to say, I noticed, Fatimah, you normally log in at 7 a.m. in the morning. Today you logged in at 3:30 and you logged in all the way from Nigeria. Is everything okay? Something like that. So you need people, and those are the people, those are the SOC analysts. They are the people that actually do like all the investigations. They're the ones that actually do like the containment, but essentially they are the watchdogs that just keep track of everything happening in a security environment, right? Or in a corporate environment. They play a vital role in just ensuring that what the CISO does, what the security guy, the cloud security guy does, what everybody in the organization, what they do not, cause any security challenge. And if there's anything that is an anomaly, they are the first ones to detect it, they analyze it, and they respond to, those threats or incidents. They also ensure that, with all the policies that the CISOs and the top management guys would have put in place, they are the ones that actually ensure that the security posture of an organization is maintained. If you have questions, just drop them. I'm happy to answer questions as I go. That is sort of who a SOC analyst, is. A SOC analyst role is good for beginners, but honestly, you can be a SOC analyst even with 5, 6, 7, 8 years of experience, because there are different levels of being a SOC analyst, depending on the organizations. With different organizations, I can be a SOC analyst level 1. Some people will say tier 1, right? Some organizations will use levels, some organizations will use tiers. So I'll tell you again, generally, globally, what is mostly applicable is like a tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 SOC analyst, or you call them level 1, level 2, level 3, L1, L2, L3, depending on the acronym that your organization uses. So for the tier 1, their primary responsibility is just to look at all the screens, all the fancy screens, or one screen or two screens, and tools, and and we'll talk about tools, we'll talk about applications that they use, but their main responsibility is just to look at those tools, to look at those systems, to identify any threats. They are the ones that carry out, if something is happening, they triage. I don't know if anybody's, give me a second. Like I said, if you have questions, please send it immediately. I'm happy to, just digress and quickly answer. But if you can hear me, or if you're flowing with me, just put a big yes. I don't like to speak to myself, sorry. Otherwise, I'll just, I guess I won't know if you guys can. Okay, thank you. Good. So we're flowing. Good. Thank you. Okay, I know we're flowing now. Okay, so that's who primarily a SOC analyst tier 1 is. They have like tools that are peculiar to them. They watch out for like vulnerabilities in different systems. And if there's anything there at the first level, just like your call center, when you call the call center, there's like a first level of what's your name, where you're calling from, things like that. So look at it from that point of view. Tier 1, they are the first responders. They do like the primary, preliminary, basic level of investigation. Tier 2 goes to the next step, and they decide if there is an attack or if there's an incident. They're the ones that come, into action next. The tier 1 would have triaged to say, okay, I think we're under an attack. We need more investigation. We need action. Now we need to go into containment and recovery and things like that. And that's where tier 2 comes in. And that's what typically they will do to ensure that if there's an incident, let's contain it. Where is it coming from? Let's identify, let's mitigate, and let's contain it, right? That's what tier 2. So it's a bit above what a tier 1 would do. And finally, the tier 3 is just those people that actively will be doing threat hunting. Has anybody heard of the word threat hunting before? If you have, just put a big yes. If you haven't, put a big no, so I can maybe delve a bit into that. No? Okay. Anybody else? No? Okay. So yes, good. Okay. So I'll just speak quickly about it. Threat hunting just means sitting on your system. Again, there are tools for all these things, right? They are the ones that just look at the web. There are different categories now. There are different organizations that support with threat hunting as well, but then you can go maybe on the dark web, or they just do like general internet search just to look for like vulnerabilities, trends, what are like, who's like the new hacking like group today, and those things are published, right? What are their tactic? What is their method of, breaking into an organization? How can we protect ourselves from this? Those are what's tier 3 type analysts, SOC analysts would do. So if you look at it, between tier 1 and 2 and 3, an organization to a good level is protected from security incidents, from attacks. And this is why SOC analyst, is a good way to start. If you start your career, as a SOC analyst, by the time you want to maybe leave to maybe like cloud, or you want to become, like an architecture, like a chef, you just have that solid level of understanding of general cybersecurity, right? So it's a good pathway to look at. Let's go to the next slide, Abdurrahman. I talked about tools, so I think my next slide will talk about just like the different tools in the arsenal of SOC analysts. Okay, so from firewalls to like endpoint protection, endpoint detection and response to like intrusion detection systems. Honestly, I can take 10 minutes each to explain each of this, but we don't have the time. But it'll be good for you to just have an idea, the kind of tools that SOC analysts use. So from like just protecting systems to ensuring that access is, I guess, prioritized, controlled, protected. That's what access management is about. And then we have SIM, which is the course that I take on LinkedIn. And eventually, and honestly, or summarily, that just means whatever security event is taking place, there's a central console that pulls all this information together. Okay, so from endpoints, this is the activities coming from endpoints. From a network, okay, these are the people logging in. These are their times of logging in. From servers, is this server down? Is this server up? Is there any intrusion going on? All that. A SIEM is that central console that pulls all that information together, and you're able to just look, as opposed to logging into all the endpoints one by one, or going into the servers to show that the health of the servers are good, or to just check if there's any intrusion going in place. You just come to the scene and you pull all that information. There's a way there's obviously like deployment and configuration that goes on, but essentially you come to the scene and you're able to just see everything in one place, right? And we have the SOAR, which is a higher level of SIEM. It just means things are again, just for the sake of time, it just means that SIEM that has a lot of automation. So in terms of going to actually do things yourself, a SOAR will be configured to automate some of those actions you would need to take. You also have vulnerability management tools. You have user entity and behavior analytics. Again, I mentioned firewall, there are loads of tools that SOC analysts use, and it makes the job interesting. It makes the job fun. It also just gives you value and ensures that, you're not doing everything manually. It's not boring, and you actually see the response of everything that you're doing. Next slide, please. I think we're almost done. I'll round up soon. It's just skills and certifications. I didn't want to talk about like particular certifications like CCIE or like CISSP. I know that, speakers before me would have done that, and I was right to do that. So I know that Ashif talked about some. Ashif has like 5 million certifications from what I saw on his profile. Abdulrahman talked about, different ones that are very valuable in the industry right now as well. But honestly, these are like skills and certifications you can look at, and they range from like, the knowledge of SIEM, of course, to incident response, to like phishing, to like email analysis, malware analysis, network fundamentals, all of this, threat hunts. Do you need to learn these tools before job hunting? Some of them will be good, and that's why I'm not particular on like certifications, but there are trainings, free webinars like this that would maybe expose you to these tools and to these resources that you would be able to just, again, sometimes it's not just to get certified, but to be able to use these tools really well. So my what's it called? My course on LinkedIn that talks about SIEM gives you like a general overview and introduction to SIEM. So if you look for like, so that's just SIEM, right? If you look for like SOC fundamentals, incident response, malware analysis, phishing, for example, you find loads of resources on these topics or these areas. And what you can do is just to take those trainings, free trainings. I always advertise for those first, or obviously then tailored ones from like companies like Cycom who would, be tailored to you, customized, and you can be sure that you're getting, the right value. Those are the ones I would look at. And so those are the ones that will generally give you a good standing to working as a SOC analyst. Again, I don't want to take too much of your time. If you're ready, my advice is just, conclude this webinar, get in touch with Cycom, get in touch with like the LinkedIn course that I mentioned. There are free resources, not just my training. There are free trainings and free resources on the internet that would give you a good exposure. And Ashif has talked about some, Abdurrahman has talked about some. I know that Felicia is also coming and she'll talk about GRC, which is another fantastic area in cybersecurity. But essentially, this is what, working as a SOC analyst, this is like a typical dashboard. You're looking at networks, you're looking at endpoints, you're looking at servers. It looks fancy. It is fancy. It can be daunting. There's a lot of work that goes into like investigating, triaging, and things like that. But honestly, as a man, as a woman, you can do it. And it is, I mean, we've seen salary ideas as well from Ashif. It's something I would consider. I will have to drop off now. I have to get to work today, but it's been really, really nice, speaking today. If this was helpful, please put a big yes. If you need more, maybe put so that Abdurrahman knows as well. It's
Hi,
really
Fatima,
good.
just to say, I don't know if you
Yeah.
have time. There are 2 questions that came up while you were talking.
One. Yeah, I answered
Okay, you
one
answered
about
one.
if you need the tools before job hunting. Then can one perform all these roles together? I don't know what that means about all these roles. Can one perform all these roles together? I don't know what that means. Sorry. That's brilliant. Do you want to maybe expand on that? Oh, the tier roles. Yeah. So, okay. The tier roles, it means, yeah, but essentially you start with like tier 1 based on your experience, based on, your capabilities. They'll promote you maybe to tier 2, and that's how you work your way. If you've done tier 1 before and you're getting a new job, most likely you would be looking for like a tier 2 role, and then that's how it's just a progression as a SOC analyst. So, I mean, that's just what that means. But yes, you can do that in different organizations. Maybe this year you worked as a tier 1. By next year, based on your performance, they can decide to give you a tier 2 role just because they feel like you have, the necessary skill set and experience to move to that role. Thank you. This has been fun. I like all the responses that I got. I hope to come on soon again, and I wish you the best in your career. Thank you. Thanks, Abdurrahman.
Yeah, thank you very much, Fatima, for this fantastic webinar on SOC.
No
And
worries.
I've actually learned some new things as well. So I need to go and get this dashboard. All right.
Get it.
I know you need to run, and we've got some people with their hands up, but just knowing how urgent you need to go, I think we'll take some of the questions at the end, and hopefully we should be able to answer them.
I know you can answer them. Between you, Felicia, and Ashif, I'm sure everybody's in good hands.
All right. Thank you very much, Fatima.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye. So, thank you very much, everyone. Just want to find out, have we got Vikram, our ISC squared?
Hi, Abdul. Of course, I'm on the call. It's
sorry.
I got lost in the beginning.
You got lost. Oh, you were looking for the link.
I was looking for the link, and then I had a wrong link, and then I had to look at the chat, and finally I was here. I was here right from the start.
All right. Thank you very much. I think the field is yours now, so we'll just go next. Just one moment. It shouldn't do this to me now. When I need it most. 1 second. Yeah, this thing's happened. Oh, all right. That's you. That's your lovely picture there. All right. I will go next, and just tell me when to go next.
Yeah, of course.
I will do that.
No problem, Abdul. Thanks again. Thanks for inviting me on today's call. It's been an absolute pleasure. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vikram. Vikram Binavra. I work at ISC Squared, and I'm responsible for looking after our official training partners like SciComm across the EMEA region. So as Abdul said from the beginning, it's never too late to get into cyber. I personally took the leap around 15 years ago, and since that I've never looked back. I was in the investment banking career, 2008 when the recession happened. My first footsteps were in cyber, like many of you are going to be looking at in IT, in cloud. And since then, it's just been a rocket ship. And one of the nicest things about this industry that I've witnessed is it's very resilient to economic pressures globally. One of the big things that happened in our lifetime was the COVID, when we locked down for almost 2 years. The only industry that was really skyrocketing and had so much perpetual change and advancements was within cloud, was within IT, within security. So you're 100% kind of barking up the right tree. This is a mega industry to get your feet into. So I just want to do a little bit of pop quiz at the moment. So firstly, can I have a thumbs up for those out there that have heard of IC Squared and have come across IC Squared? Okay, cool. That's quite a lot of you. Some know. And just as a pop quiz in the chat, if you can briefly give me some brief description of who ISC2 are, that'd be great. So I know that I'm working with great thinkers out there. So if you just want to put in chat a very basic description of IC Squared, if you guys know exactly who we are or what we do. Okay, no problem. I'm just waiting for some responses. Very good. Great answer. Okay, cool. So I won't take too much time into. Okay, great. Someone's got a badge already. Fantastic. So Abdul, do you want to go on to the next slide, please?
Sure.
Wonderful. So who ISC2 are? So ISC2 is an international non-profit membership association for cybersecurity professionals. We are ranked the #1 cybersecurity certification company in the world. We work with many businesses and governments across the world. We're doing a lot of advocacy work with some of the top countries in the world in terms of how can we get cyber profession in the very top ranks of the economy. In terms of certifications, again, it's just not an exam, something that you pass. There's always going to be lifelong modules that individuals can do. That's always kind of filling in gaps. As technology enhances and progresses, we also want our certified holders' skills and gaps to be advancing as well. So again, most of our members will have access to a lot more extracurricular learning once they kind of become members of IC Squared. Abdullah, next slide, please. Abdullah, next slide. Can you hear me? Thank you.
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry.
No worries. So at the moment, IC2 has rapidly grown over the last 2 years. Now, at the start of 2023, we had just over 350,000 members globally. At the end of 2023, we had 600,000 members globally. And this number is just going to get bigger. So by the time we reach H1 this year, we're estimating to have more than 1 million members, associates, and candidates of IC2 globally. Now, for those that are actually working in the UK, or those that live in the UK, we've actually embarked on a journey with the UK Cyber Security Council last year in efforts to kind of professionalize cybersecurity profession in the UK. And I'm extraordinarily pleased to let you guys know that IC2 are the first certification company in the UK to actually have other certs certified. So if you're going to be, if you're an IC2 member or an associate, okay, you in the UK now can actually get chartered status for this profession, and having its chartered status again will have a lot of advantage for your career growth in the future. It's very similar to if you go to an accountant. If you're going to go to an accountant, you're always going to look for someone that's CMA qualified or a member of ACCA, being a chartered body. That's exactly how the direction ISC2 is moving. Our first pilot was the UK government. We've successfully done that. We're now going to be rolling this chartered status globally over time. So we want to have a world where we have top cyber professionals that are chartered, so they're very trustworthy. They've got the right skills for them to go into any organization to safeguard their vital assets in IT. Next slide, please, Abdul. Wonderful. So with IC Squared, we have a number of certifications that one can do with us. Of a CISSP has been the premier certification globally for many years. It is the Everest when it comes to certification. It's the hardest certification to get, but once you do obtain it, you're really on the A1 game in your career. Over time, we've developed different studies and different certifications to suit different professions. Our cloud security professional certificate, again, is now creeping up to where CISP sits. In 2022, we launched a very early entrant certificate in cybersecurity, which is the CC. CC now has become the fastest growing certificate ISC to have globally, and also the compliance, governance, and risk certification again is becoming very, very important for companies to have this certified people in governance and risk. So again, as an individual, you start your journey off in CC if you have no experience in IT at all. And again, depending on what discipline you want to take your career into over time, you can certainly study any of the other certifications that we have on offer. Next slide, please, Abdul.
Next, yeah.
Yeah, so this is perfect. So again, this slide kind of captures, all those certifications at a glance, who the certifications are relevant to, and again, where do you actually begin? So Cycon is one of our leading official training partners in the UK and Europe when it comes to CC training. They know the course inside out. They have the right team to deliver instructor-led courses on CC. And this is where someone will begin their career or their kind of path into becoming a CISO one day, becoming a SOC analyst. It depends on where you want to go, but CC really should be the starting point for anyone's career when venturing into cybersecurity. Next slide, please. So what is the opportunity for people seeking ISC2 certifications, and how popular are ISC2 certifications? So if you just want to quickly go into the graph, Abdul.
Yeah.
So this is, I haven't got the 2024 figures, they haven't come out, but this is what ISC2 looked, at a glance, how we compared from 23 to 22. 23 was a huge year for us. 24 is going to be even bigger year. As you can see on this graph, just by looking at CC, there's a 314% global demand as compared to 2022. Okay, if you look at the other certifications like CGRC, again, we saw an almost 400% leap from what was 22 to 23. So what this basically tells us, folks, is that ISC2 certifications not only are very popular, they're getting more in demand year on year. They're getting more requested by companies that you're going to be applying for jobs in the future. So getting into the door very early, especially with CC, it's going to work wonders for you when it comes to application for new roles and how it's going to shape your career. So getting and investing in an ISC2 certification is going to be absolutely vital when it comes to how you want to shape your career going after university. Or if you're already working and you're looking to change jobs, again, it's a vital course or certificate to obtain to then shape your career in the future. If you want to go on to the next slide, please, Abdul. So, this is just a very, very quick introduction into what certificate of cybersecurity is. Again, after this call today, more than welcome to reach out to me on LinkedIn or reach out to Abdul and his team, and we can kind of give you a very short consultancy on why cybersecurity and why this course is becoming very, very popular. So this course was really designed into filling in the workforce gap, not just in the UK, but globally. And with CC, it gives you that opportunity without having any experience in IT whatsoever to actually take your first footsteps within this career. ISC2 traditionally, with those CISP and the CCSPs and SSCPs were certificates that were for people already in mid-flight in the career, or those people that are kind of reaching the top of the career to get the certificates. We never had anything to offer those people that are just entering into the career. And CC is a game changer for ISC2 in a way where it's just broadened the horizon for a lot more candidates to come through the doors. And as I said, it's one of those certificate at the moment that's growing by almost 300-400% year on year. So it's a very, very popular certification. Next slide, please. So as mentioned, who can actually go for a CC? CC really is for anyone. Those that are experienced, semi to full experience individuals, or those that have absolutely no experience and are looking to possibly, change career. They're looking for recent graduates that want to get into IT or cyber. We're looking at college students that want to also get some kind of education in cyber before they go on to the A levels or degree. So this course is for anybody, anyone. As long as you're over 16, you're more than welcome to study this course and pass it. Next slide, please. So again, there's fundamentally no experience required. I know with CISP and of other certification, you need to have a number of years of experience under your belt before you can sit that course and pass that course and become a member of the course and ISC2. But with CC, again, there's no experience whatsoever. There's no prerequisites. You can simply pick up the phone tomorrow, call Abdul, and I'm sure he can kind of discuss the timetable he has with CC in 2024. So again, yeah, no prerequisites at all required to study this course. Next slide, please. There's many benefits in obtaining certified for cybersecurity. I think the two big benefits here, personally for me, to talk to you guys about. Number one, credibility. You come out university degree. When I came out, had a university degree, I came out looking for a job. It can take a lot of interviews before you land something that you want. Okay, with CC, has this force field of credibility around you. And if you look at most entry jobs on LinkedIn today, chances are you're going to see, do you have a CC, certified in cybersecurity certificate? So again, with CC is going to help you ultimately to get the job of your dreams as entering into the cyber career. Is most certainly going to give you more advancement in your role. Getting a CC means greater chance and a quicker chance of getting promoted to the next level up. And the second one is higher salaries. Any IC2 degree commands higher salaries, and we've seen that through many studies over 2 decades. But CC, because it's such a new certificate that we launched, what we're seeing already through our studies is people that have CC that are either mid-management or entry-level jobs, they typically command more salaries than those that will not have an ICT certification. Okay, and I think the third thing is, growth and learning. CC really is, how would I say, if you climb Everest, if CISP sits at the summit of Everest, CC is the foothills of Everest. It kind of gets you ready to take on the mountain. So it's a lot of the content in CC is very much broken content that you do in the CISP. So it really gets you that accelerated learning and gets you into a very comfortable position to later on tackle the harder and bigger certifications from ISC squared. Next slide, please, Abdul. Some really good questions. So I will most certainly go through the questions once I've just gone through the slides. But again, keep them coming, and I'm sure we'll certainly cover all the questions that you guys have. So this is just a very quick snippet of some of the positions that we've seen recently that require CISP. I mean, not CISP, CC. So again, most entry-level jobs will require CC. And as I said, we are chartering this profession in the UK, meaning any company is now going to be looking for chartered individuals, and the only way to get chartered is to have an ISC2 certification. No other certification you get you chartered in the UK apart from ISC2. And the more this comes into the media, the more this is now coming out. You know, we're working with 10 Downing Street. We're working with the White House. We're going to be getting this charted in the US as well. So the more this comes out to the general public, employers are going to be in the, you know, even now it's happening now, are going to be requesting, do you guys have anything that you hold with ISC squared? So these are the main kind of questions that are going to be asked at interviews. We have candidates that had interviews that were asked about IC2 certifications. So it's becoming very, very popular in terms of employers now asking for more credentials than just what a degree or a master's degree will have in entail. Next one, please, Abdul. It's a very, very short course, ladies and gentlemen. It's a 2-hour exam. It's around 100 multiple choice questions. The actual course content can be covered within a day or two. Okay, and what makes it even more unique is of official training partners such as SciComm. They'll have a professional instructor who's CISSP, CCSP. They'll be able to cover the fundamentals of CC and ensure that you have a very high success of passing the certificate. Once you pass the certificate, again, you'll be an associate of ISC squared. Now, what this basically should mean to you guys, when you go for the job interview, when you speak to your existing employer saying you've done an IC certification, this is your credential now, you know, just having that sentence saying, I'm an associate of ISC2 or I'm a member of ISC2 carries its weight in gold. So I would urge you to really, you know, I know as you guys kind of transform and start finding your feet within the job market, the career market, you know, I wouldn't, you know, I would highly recommend to you take maybe a minute of your day just to research CC, ask SciComm about what it entails, what the study is, how difficult it may be, how many hours you need, because that's hours and time well invested in your future. Next slide, please, Abdul. So one of the big benefits of doing CC for an official training course provider as well is they'll have the latest and greatest material. Now, as 2024 happens, ISC2 is also going through a transformation where we're going to be going mainly digital, meaning we can update and change information on the fly. So other partners like SciComm will always have the latest and greatest material. Other authorized instructors that work with SciComm will have the latest and greatest material. So as a candidate, you know, whatever you invest your time in, you know you're going to be getting the most valuable information from IC squared. One further thing IC squared is doing this year is if you sit the course and you pass the course, great, you'll get a certificate proving you've done it. But the other thing is you'll also get a certificate proving that you've done the official course, an official material from an official partner. And that itself also carries its weight in gold. So you can produce the 2 certificates when you go to your future employee saying, I've passed the course, but guess what? I've also passed it from an official partner who taught me the official course. So again, that itself is going to be very valuable for candidates to have in the future. Next, I think this is, I think I'm almost done. My last slide would be, you know, CC now is, and this is what I love about CC. It's only been around for a very short period of time. I would say 18 months. It's now propelled to become the best foundational cybersecurity course in the world. We have won many accolades. You can do your research on Google. Many countries have now kind of put CC as the go-to entry-level cybersecurity certificate. We won many prestigious awards in end of 2023. So yeah, for anyone that's interested in doing CC, it really is worth it. As you can see, you know, it's now ranked to be the #1 entry-level course in the world. And as a joke, you know, what we kind of say to our partners, a lot of candidates will collect a lot of certificates over a lifetime. Okay, but what many people have told me in terms of CISOs and professionals, you know, if you've got the ISC2 certifications, there's no need to spend money or spend time elsewhere. These themselves will carry you through whatever you guys ever want to do or pursue in your life, in your career lives. I think I'm last slide, Abdul. So, you know, I'd like to thank you all for your time. Again, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll send my details of my connection on the chat. And, you know, let's all work together to create a safe and secure cyber world.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vikram, for the fantastic presentation. And like Vikram has said, CC is the gold standard for entry level entry into cybersecurity. That gets your foot into cybersecurity, and you build on that. Like I say, it's a continuous learning process, right? I know this meeting is supposed to finish at 1:30, and it's 1:30 now. I believe we've still got a bit to cover, but I don't think at the moment, just bear with me, we will not be able to run through the whole program. But however, we're supposed to go through the GRC as well. Okay, someone just asked, what's the next stage after CC? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag this down and I will answer that question, right? So just please pardon me, I might take another 5 minutes from the team. I'll just share the slide. So, and just to tell you how we can help you as SciComm, right? So what we intend to do over the year is the regular information sessions on cybersecurity certifications. So we're going to have some more sessions, but smaller, shorter 30-minute sessions to discuss cybersecurity. And we're looking at exam boot camps as well that will start running. So for people that are prepared for CC, for example, we'll have boot camp where you come, we prepare for the exams, you go and write it. And same for CCSP, SSCP, CISSP, CompTIA, programs as well. So we intend to put all those in place. And as well, we will advise that if you follow us so that you get a lot of this cybersecurity content as well. So now, in regards to the question about what next after CC. So this is our timeline that takes you through from day one to the end. So we take you CC 2 days. For those that just want to take CC, maybe just to get their foot into the understanding of cybersecurity, you can stop here. But what we usually advise is move on to stage 2. So stage 2 is where after the CC, we take you through what we call the systems and networking fundamentals, which just to give you a very strong background and prepare you for the CompTIA Security Plus, which helps you to validate a lot of the things you've learned in CC. So this includes some labs, one-on-one labs. You've got your trainers talk you through. You have a lot of take-home that you need to do as well. And that will take 8 days. And we have a 3 days professional development, CV review, LinkedIn optimization session that we do with you as well, just to give you to build your profile for you as well. And that would take just 3 days. And we have what we call the mentorship, specialization, work experience, and interview prep. This is a 4 to 6 weeks program. I see it as this is more of where the continuous learning actually comes into play. This is, we are like a community. So when you join, what you're doing is like, oh, I'm part of this community. We share, we have this constantly in and out. We have different projects, different mentorship, specialization sessions. For those that want to go into governance, non-technical, want to go into technical, we do all that. So, and if you now apply for a job after we've helped you with building your CV, we work with you to build your CV, and you apply for a job, you get an interview. What we do is we prepare you for that interview, so that when you go for that interview, you're able to, talk, eloquently and, get the job. And we do on-the-job support as well, which is something, so post-training support. So, and that is what it is. Because of time, I've got to skip quickly. And this is where we are now. And although it says questions and answers, this is our LinkedIn. If you want to follow us on LinkedIn, and if you want to follow us on Twitter.
Sorry, I don't think you're sharing your screen. Are you sharing the screen?
Oh, wow.
You're not
Am I
sharing
not?
it. No. So
Oh, no, sorry. Did I just... 1 second. Okay, so I think I spoke for so long without sharing my screen. All right, so I'll just to not to say everything over. At least I've talked about the slide, talking about the things we do, and this is because I will share this slide anyway. I will share this the training, at least so that we all have, you can see this. So this is what I talked about earlier, and this is our LinkedIn. If you want, you can use your phone to scan, just so you can follow us on LinkedIn. We talk about cybersecurity, and as well our contact details. I will share that as well. I think for everyone that has attended this program, there will be an email just coming out to you with more information. Please, you can feel free to reach out to us. So although we say questions and answers, but during this program, I think we have answered quite a number of questions. And in the interest of time, please feel free to reach out to me, or Vikram is there as well. And feel free to reach out and we'll answer any of your questions. Right. So thank you very much for attending. If you please just thank you very much, Vikram, and I think it's 1 hour 45 minutes. Yeah, so I think 1:47. So do we get the slides? Yes, I will send a copy of the slides to you as well. Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdul. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Thanks, Vikram. Thank you.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Abdul.
Bye.
Take care. Take care.
Thanks, Ashiv.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.